Welcome to the demo of the newest release of the Excel interface, or XLI for short. We're continuing to invest in the XLI nonstop, and in this release we've added 2 enhancements that many customers have been asking us for. Many organizations who tend to be cost-driven or cost-conscious need to be able to better tie resource effort as represented by PPM staffing profiles to costs in a more useful manner than what's currently available in PPM today. With that in mind, we've released a new capability that takes both financial planning and control of initiatives in PPM to the next level. This new capability allows users to download any number of staffing profiles and view efforts and costs side by side without having to switch screens or run reports to get the data. It further allows them to view the cost impact of changes made to the effort immediately without necessarily having to save the data back to PPM, thus allowing the user to experiment with different scenarios. The second major enhancement allows users to manage financial benefits through the XLI. This adds to the existing capability to manage costs and improve budgets, so now the entire PPM Financial Summary entity can be managed using the XLI. Now let's see what I've just been describing in action. So here I already have the XLI open. I'm going to go ahead and log in as Jerry Young. Remember that to the end user, the XLI is simply an Excel workbook. I have the XLI configured to work with a single sign-on. So now remember my password. So I'm going to go ahead and just log in. Once authenticated, the XLI exposes the sheets here on the bottom that are available to me based on the XLI admin security settings. So let me just go ahead and jump to the staffing profile tab. Before I can retrieve any staffing profile data to update, I first have to enter data in the slicers up top. And you'll notice we have a new slicer called Display Costs with 3 options here: base currency, local currency, and none. So right now this slicer is set to be required as denoted by the little asterisk sign here, but the admin can actually disable and hide this slicer if it's not relevant for your implementation. Now you see the slicers up top already have options selected from a previous session, so the magnifying glass or search icon is already enabled, so I'll go ahead and click on that. So let me select a few staffing profiles to work with. I'll select the first 2 up here, and what I'll do is select the first 3 staffing profile lines or positions from the first staffing profile. So I'll go ahead and go to the second one and select the first 3 lines there. Go ahead and download the information into the XLI. So you can see here down the bottom, we kind of went by very quickly actually, but there's a little status bar indicating where it is progressing as far as the different lines as they get downloaded into the sheet. So let me go ahead and scroll to the right, and you'll see we have a new column called Cost. So let me explain a few things about how the cost gets calculated. Costs are derived from standard PPM cost rules functionality, regardless of which cost factors are being used, or optionally you can actually have the cost be based on custom rate cards that are stored within the XLI. In addition, when we choose to display a different display cost, for example local currency, the PPM foreign exchange or FX rates within PPM get picked up automatically and get used to convert to and from the different local currencies. And as always, the PPM security model is honored. If the user can't view the cost information of an object in PPM, they can't do so either within the XLI. So let me go ahead and change the effort for a staffing profile position, and you can see how the XLI dynamically changes the associated costs. So let's just say I change this from 1.5 to 2. So the $27,600 cost should jump up. You can see it jumped up to $36,800. Let's change this one down here for this position for the architect. I'll change it from 1 to 2. And you can see the cost jumped up again to $36,800. So unlike the core application, I can experiment with different scenarios without actually having to save the data back to PPM. So let me go ahead now and switch gears and jump to the Financial Summary tab and talk about the benefits enhancement I just mentioned. So once again, before I can download any information to update in the XLI, I have to fill in the slicers up top here. And you'll notice that we have a new metric here called Benefits. Right? So I'll go ahead and select that. So all my slicer options have other values that were saved from a previous session. So I'm going to go ahead and actually start my search. So here are my results. Remember that the PPM security model still applies. If I can't update a particular benefit in PPM, I can't even see it in the XLI. You'll notice I've also downloaded numerous financial summaries, but I'm going to go ahead just and select the first 2. So these are actually the same projects I was working in before. Now, actually, they're two different projects, but they have the 2017 prefix. Let's select these first two. Go ahead and download that information into the sheet, and you'll see down here it's reading the financial summary, so that status bar down there. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe update some expected benefits. I'll change this large number here to maybe just 60,000. Right. And how about we change the category from labor cost avoidance to a different category, cost reduction. So notice that this is an Excel lookup, and this actually gets synced up with automatically to PPM. So if I actually change the data for the corresponding PPM validation, it also changes it automatically in the XLI. Let me also do a quick copy. Just select the line, copy the lines, yes. What I'll do is maybe just change the category. Okay, this is for a product. Change some of these values here. Now when I'm ready to save all my updates back to PPM, I just have to click on Save, represented by this icon here. And it's all done in a single save operation. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can see the status here on the bottom again. Alright, so all my changes are saved back into PPM. If I want to switch over and look at a different metric for the same financial summaries, for example, now I want to see costs, I can just click on costs and then click on the refresh. Okay. Let me conclude by summarizing all the features of the XLI. There's no end user installation. To the end user, they just need to simply download the Excel workbook and begin using it. The XLI allows you to retrieve, create, and update individual or multiple PPM entities at once. It also allows you to create Excel-based reports that are accessible through the XLI environment. And of course, being that it's Excel, you can use all the native UI capabilities such as copy, paste, drag and drop, formulas and such. And XLI also allows you to integrate PPM with external data sources. So for example, other data sheets or common data sources like CSV files. You can also apply custom business rules. So for example, you can apply time normalization, custom rate cards, etc. And XLI also retains the PPM data integrity, and of course, it's a security model. So thank you for watching this demo of the XLI. So if you want more information, please contact us at info@ppmetrics.com and be sure to visit us on our website, www.ppmetrics.com. Thank you.